Guys, I have heard the word phallic more times in the last two Arrow video essays than I've probably heard in my whole life. So let's talk the long kiss goodnight. So this video will be a side-by-side comparison. But I want to show you two images. I'm going to pop them up on the screen. And I want you to tell me which one you think is which. We're just going to play a little game real fast. So one of these, if you look at the top of this one, and the top of this one, you see how one's more saturated and one's more pale? I don't know which photo I'm going to put up here first. And then at the bottom, it's the same. One's more saturated and one's more pale. I didn't switch these. These are the same transfers. You ready? 3, 2, 1. That's what this 4K transfer is going to be. Now, here's the thing. I'm not ragging on this 4K transfer. I love this 4K transfer. I'm showing you this to just kind of show you, is this old Blu-ray bad? I don't think so. I don't think it is at all. This is a brand new 4K restoration by Arrow Films from the original 35mm negative, approved by director Renny Harlin. Renny Harlin's having a great year. You know, we got Deep Blue Sea, I think last month. We got The Long Kiss Goodnight this month. We're getting Nightmare on Elm Street 4 later this year. And there's rumors we're supposed to get Die Hard 2. But that comes from a very unreliable source and only from one person who I don't trust. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's a rumor. So Renny Harlin's having a year, man, let me tell you. And well-deserved. I feel like Renny Harlin is criminally underrated as a 90s action movie director. But The Long Kiss Goodnight is probably one of my favorites. Absolutely love this movie. Been watching it since VHS, and I love the VHS has like this embossed on all the corners with the font. I had the DVD. I got rid of the DVD, I think, a long time ago when I upgraded this. This was like before I started keeping both. But I ended up getting this because this, you know, it's a 100 gigabyte disc. It's Arrow. We got new artwork, which I really like. And we got reversible artwork in here. So the other side is this art. But then we get this art, which I will say is different than, I'll try to hold these up, than these two art, because I think my DVD was the exact same art as those. So I don't remember if this was like the original poster or something. It's something original, but I dig it. I like having it. What's on the inside? What did crack me up though is because a lot of people have not seen this in a very long time, and you can tell because a lot of people got it before they watched it, didn't know what this was. It's a skating on thin ice prohibited by like law order or whatever. A fun little sticker, but there's two whole scenes that take place on the skating on the frozen lake. So if you've seen the movie like more than once, you should automatically get what this is. But I honestly, in this booklet, I really like this artwork. I almost wish this was like an artwork for something else. But I really like this artwork with the book. And I will say, and I've given Arrow crap before on this, but I will say, book-wise, this is the best quality of photos they've produced. Like, the images are high-res. My Conan one looks like crap. I can barely see the images. I've had some books where the two pictures weren't lined up the same, and it's like, why would you put those two together like that? I didn't read all this. It does talk about the restoration. All Arrow stuff talks about the restorations. And you do get this card of Samuel L. Jackson. On the back it says, "Merry Christmas, motherfucker," which is kind of cheeky. He doesn't say that line at all in the movie, but the movie does I can't frickin' talk. The movie takes place at Christmas time, and it's Samuel L. Jackson, who's famous for saying the word motherfucker. So that's their own little cheeky thing. But I gotta say, this disc art is fire on both of them. I really like the disc art. We got what do we got? Amnesia chick, the folder, which is in the movie, and then this scene, which is the opening credits of her like writing her name out because she's amnesia chick. Really, really thoughtful. I love the art. Only thing that I think that was kind of stupid, and I've said this before privately to friends, you know how Arrow does their little teasers on Instagram? If you're on Instagram, they do these little teasers. And they just throw something random and expect you to guess it. So sometimes they're pretty clever. Sometimes they're just like way off. They put a red coat for this one, which looks nothing like the red coat Samantha wears in the movie. And that has absolutely zero anything on the plot. So I don't know why they went with the red coat. But we're here to talk about the movie and the transfer. If you've never seen this, this is from 1996. I think it's from 1996. 1995, probably, too. 1995 or 1996. New Line Cinema. So if Arrow's going to do a lot of New Line stuff, I'm loving it because New Line needs the love. And this looks really good on 4K. Looks really good. The only thing I don't understand, because Arrow doesn't do this, it comes with the Blu-ray, but the movie is not on the Blu-ray. It is just interviews and special features, which it's on a 50 gigabyte disc, so I don't get why they didn't put the movie also on there. Because it's just interviews. It's like Zoom interviews and stuff, and video essays. Before we get into the thing, because it's bugging me how much I want to talk about this. Do y'all remember my last video on Arrow about Deep Blue Sea? Was it my last one? It might have been. Deep Blue Sea, how I said that video essay was one of the worst things I'd ever seen. And most of you agreed with it. This one's not as bad. There's a lot of new stuff on here. But there's one, I don't know the name of it, I'll put it on here. There's the one where it just kind of seems unnecessary. He's just basically explaining the movie to you. So if you've seen the movie, everything he's saying is just kind of like, yes, I know. Yes, I know. It's not really diving into anything deep. There is one thing I think he said where he was talking about how originally it was supposed to be a male character instead of a female, and that's probably why the movie didn't do so good at the box office, which I didn't know that part. But there's another one where, again, we hear the word phallic in a movie that has nothing, just because it's got a female-y chick, we got to use the word phallic and compare it to things. I had to stop the video. I couldn't do the whole thing this time like I did Deep Blue Sea. So it's not near as bad. I don't think he went into the whole vagina dentata BS stuff that the Deep Blue Sea guy went through, because this is a different guy. But it literally sounds like the guy being interviewed, I mean, he's a film historian. I don't want to bash him or anything, but he compared a scene. This is what got me. This was like my end, like, okay, you're going too far. He's comparing the two love interests. So Gina Davis, his character, has a new boyfriend, right, who she's been with for a couple years. He's the nice guy, right? And then the villain of the movie is her ex, mother of her child, really douchebag guy, you know. So you know how he compares it? There's a scene where where Gina Davis and the new boyfriend are walking home from the grocery store, and they got the bag of groceries, and he points out the Wonder Bread, and he makes this whole comparison about how Wonder Bread is safe, how that's symbolic. Wonder Bread is soft and safe, and then he compares the bad guy to a French baguette, hard, and I'm like, really? You're comparing these two guys with the bread and phallic symbols?
Her current boyfriend, Hal, represents domesticity, contentment, and comfort, but also boredom and routine. When the couple are walking home from the grocery store, A loaf of Wonder Bread sticks out of Hal's shopping bag, an indication that this seemingly blissful picture-perfect life is as bland, soft, and white as the loaf itself. In a film chocked to the brim with masculine phallic symbols, this may be the most creative. The world of her more vibrant youth is represented by her daughter's father, the arrogant, sadistic, gleeful sociopath Timothy. Somehow, we know that if he deigns to bring the bread, Timothy's bag will no doubt contain a long, hard, and crusty baguette.
That was a little too much for me. I wanted to get the special features out the way because that was like on my chest, and I was like, I gotta get it out. So that's a little ridiculous. Like, I will, okay, if I'm gonna give credit where credit's due for special features, whoever's editing the opening sequences to these essays, great job, my dude. Or lady, who's ever doing it. But that being said, let's get into the actual transfers. How do these look? I'm not really going to talk about what the movie's about. I'm kind of going to do that, because if you haven't seen the movie, you know what? Let's do that. I'm going to kind of talk about the movie, but I'm going to show side-by-sides too, because I think this 4K is a great transfer. I think the skin tones look really good. It's not one of these things that it doesn't blow me away. And it's one of these things I keep having to tell myself, like, with movies like this that I grew up with in the 90s and basically my whole life, when you watch it on 4K, if it's not a movie you haven't seen in 20 years, it will probably have a different impact on you. For me, who's somebody who probably watches this every other year, at least, if not more, me watching it was just me watching the movie. There was nothing that really stood out to me that was like, wow, this is like, wow. It didn't really have that effect. And it wasn't until I started putting the side-by-sides together where I noticed the difference. I don't think you're really going to notice the difference unless you look at these comparisons side by side, because I think this Blu-ray is good. I think it's good. Do I think you need to rush and upgrade to the 4K? That's on you. I would say wait for a sale, honestly. I don't think the Long Kiss Goodnight is going to sell out anytime soon. And it's just a slipcover. It's not a chunky box, so it's not that limited. And it's one of these like hidden gem movies, I still feel like. Because I don't feel like enough people want to talk about this movie, actually watch this movie. So I'm going to just call it a 90s hidden gem. Even though probably most of you who are watching this might be fans just like me and be like, that's disrespectful to call it a hidden gem. Because, yeah, I think it's one of the best 90s movies, action movies up there. I think it's hugely underrated. So me watching it, I'm like, it looks good. Nothing blowing my mind. And I did notice some inconsistencies, and some where the 4K just blows the Blu-ray out the water quality-wise. The 4K has a much more natural tone to it, but I feel like, especially with skin tones look really good. And of course, this all depends on your setup. Your TV will look different than my TV. Your player is probably more expensive than my player. I don't have an audio system, so I can't really talk to you about if the audio setup is gonna blow your speakers out, blow your mind with the audio. I don't know, because I don't have that kind of setup to judge that. Hopefully other YouTubers with that setup and stuff can talk about that for you guys, because I know there are people in the comments who tell me they just upgrade for audio, which to me is crazy, but probably people who watch these and be like, you're just upgrading for visuals. It's stupid. We're all different in how we collect. But I really am glad this movie is getting love again. I really am. Honestly, dude, I don't care if you upgrade this or not personally. Do I think you should? It doesn't matter. In my opinion, it doesn't matter. I'm just here to talk about how much I love the movie, show you what the disc kind of look like, and for you to make your own decisions. Like I said, I think this is a great looking 4K. It's a brand new restoration. It's probably the best it will ever look. But if it's a movie you're probably only going to watch once every 10 years or something, or if you haven't seen it in 20 years, if you don't own this on Blu-ray, If you just have the DVD, oh yeah, get this. If you have the Blu-ray already, I would say wait for a sale, maybe. Wait till it goes down, because this will go down to like 20 bucks, for sure. For sure it will. Friday the 13th is already down to 20 bucks. Remember the whole scare when people thought it wasn't coming back? They heard Arrow's not going to redo it, and it was going for like 70, 80 bucks online. It's 20 bucks on Amazon right now, you guys. Don't go FOMO over this edition from Arrow. But I think this is some of my favorite artwork. I really like it. I say that thinking I wish they would have done a little bit more with it, maybe to show a little bit more of the snow and everything, because it's kind of dark. The silhouette is kind of dark even when you look at it, but I love the watercolorness. I love the bokeh right here of the lights out of focus. Think it's really good. But as far as the transfer goes, as I said, this definitely gets an A+ for me as a transfer. But again, it's not going on my 4Ks of the year. It's not going on my, this blew me away. This looks fantastic. I think it looks great. But I think the Blu-ray looks really good too. And sometimes I can't tell which one's which. Sometimes I can. And sometimes there are moments where the 4K completely outshines the Blu-ray to me. And then there are points where it's like, wow, which one's which? So with that being said, are you guys buying this? Are you upgrading? How do y'all feel about Arrow's video essays? Because I'm really starting to question their motives. That are the people that they're getting. Is there a quality control? That's just a personal rant. I'm tired of hearing the word phallic in every video essay from Arrow releases I get. But hey, it's 2025. What are you going to do? Go watch The Long Kiss Goodnight. If you have not seen it in 10, 20 years, very high recommend for The Long Kiss Goodnight.